What's up, guys? Welcome back to another week. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about actually a specific technique that's going to or could help you alleviate some back pain acutely. So, with today's modern world, a lot of people are doing their jobs sitting down a lot or driving a lot, or they're in that seated position, which a lot of times can lead to some low back pain, which is a major health concern for many people. So even if it's not new to you, I just want to share just one stretch really that would help alleviate some of that pain. Now, before I want to get into it, I do want to clarify this isn't a cure for back pain or anything like that. If you have specific health issues, if you've had any blunt trauma or you have any structural damage or anything like that, obviously refer to your doctor, your physician, your specialist, whatever, to get some help with that. But in the instance that maybe you've just been thrust into a routine where you're just sitting an awful lot or driving an awful lot, or the muscles in your low back are starting to get a little tight, I really think that this will help provide some relief for you. Again, not a cure. If you want some strategies to help move a little farther down the line for some low back pain, please, reach out. I'd love to help you through that as well. But right now, I just want to give you guys a little bit of relief. Also, before I start, I'll just tell you one thing that you can do quite simply, regardless of this stretch, is just stand up and move more. So what happens is those muscles that get tight, that pull that back into a compressed position, if you stand up, then you would lengthen them and they would no longer be in that compressed position. So that would be step number one, is just try and stand up more frequently, and do some work standing up, moving, walking around if possible. So if not, I just want to show you one stretch. It's a kneeling hip flexor stretch, and you can kneel on the floor. If you're unable to get down and back up from the floor, you can kneel on a chair, you can kneel on a bench, something that's stable, that's not going to slide out from underneath you. But we're just going to do a kneeling hip flexor stretch. And why we want to talk about that is because the muscles in our hip, our quads, the front of our legs up into our hip, when we sit there, so our legs are like this, and when we sit, these muscles, actually I guess it should be like this, these muscles in the front of the leg here are shortened, and the muscles actually go in and loop into our low back in the back of our hip. And when those are shortened for an extended period of time, and then you go and stand up and try and stretch them out, they're really tight, and what happens is they pull on that low back, and you get an arching position, which can kind of compress that low back, and over time can really compress those muscles and create some low back pain. I can tell you this is something I struggle with a lot, and this is a stretch I do quite frequently. So enough talking, I'm just going to get right into it. Hopefully you can hear me as I move away from the camera, but what we're going to do is we're just going to start on one knee. And we want to make sure we're in an upright position, and two things that I want to make sure we do. So these are two things that I like to focus on. I like to do it kneeling. This can be done standing with a straight leg, but I like to do it kneeling for two reasons. Well, actually mainly for one reason. So if we bend that knee, we're actually already lengthening those muscles, the quad muscles and the hip flexor muscles. So I like to do it kneeling. And two, I like to have my toes on the floor instead of pointed backwards. So the difference here is toes here versus foot flat. And you can see the angle of the knee, that just creates more of a stretch here through the front of the leg. So those are the two things that I really like to focus on. I like to do it kneeling, and I like to have this ankle flexed. Okay, so from here, we're going to be up nice and tall. Up tall this way. We don't want to be leaning forward, leaning back. Up nice and tall, straight spine. And then the key here is you can either think of it two ways. Either pull your belly button in or squeeze your butt, because both are going to happen. What we want to do is create that tilt in our pelvis. So the muscles are tight, causing our back to arch this way. So we want to create the opposite movement. So squeeze your butt, pull your belly button in towards your spine. And this is the position we want to keep. So we're going to stay up nice and tall, hold this position, and then think about pushing those hips forward, and you should really feel that stretch right here in the front of the hip. Okay? Now, what it tends to happen, especially when we're already in this muscle imbalance state, is when you push forward, you want to lean back because those muscles are so tight. So even just getting into this position, you might feel enough of a stretch there that you could actually work out that tightness. So you could do that. If you need more, again, just push the hips forward. Don't lean back. Don't lean forward. Take the hips, push forward, and you should feel that stretch right through the front. Okay? So like I said, you can do this one. You can kneel on the floor. You can kneel on a bench if it's hard for you to get down and up from the floor. Really great stretch, and do it on both sides. So one side might be tighter than the other, and that's normal. But do it on both sides. Give this stretch a try, guys. If you want to learn a little bit more, some more stretches, please, reach out to me. If you've tried this and it helped, leave it in the comments. Like, share with anybody else who you think might benefit from this stretch. So thanks for tuning in, guys. We will catch you next week with another video. Hopefully this helps, and we'll see you later.